So let's publish our app to a final acceptance test environment. In order to do that, we need to first make sure that we have the final acceptance test environment created. So I'll go into the environments here and add an environment called FAT, and then put parentheses FAT afterwards. So this is the name, this is the type. If you have a type called prod or FAT back here, then these environments will not be used for continuous deployment from a CI/CD workflow. Instead, they will only be used for publish to environment. If you do not decorate your name with FAT or prod, the workflow will still find out. It might, or it actually will, create a deployment job, but it will find out when it discovers that the environment is a production environment. Then it won't deploy to that environment. If your FAT environment is a sandbox environment, it will actually deploy to that environment if you do not have it decorated with space, parentheses, FAT, and so on. So after adding these two environments, we need to create a secret with the auth context for that. I talked about earlier how to create an auth context called QA auth context. What we can do instead of creating another auth context is that we can actually create a setting called FAT underscore auth context secret name. This setting is kind of a magic setting, like every secret that ALGO is looking for. If it finds a setting that looks like the secret name followed by secret name, then that's a mapping, and you can now say QA auth context. That means that if ALGO looks for a secret called FAT auth context, it will instead read the secret QA auth context and give the same value to FAT auth context. We can do the same with prod. Say prod auth context secret name is also QA auth context, and then let's save this one. So with that, I can press actions, publish to environment, and run this workflow and say I want to publish this to the FAT environment, and current is the current released version. If I say latest, then it's the latest build, meaning 1.1 in this case. But if I say current, that's version 1.0, and I'll say run workflow to this one. Let's wait for the workflow to complete and see the result of that. And as we can see, the publish to environment successfully completed, and we can see that it actually did deploy our version 1.0 to, actually it was already deployed, but that's because I tried this out a little earlier. It actually tries to deploy version 1.0 to the FAT environment here. So with that, I can also publish to prod by running the publish to environment and specify environment name prod, or I can specify star and it deploys to both versions. So with that, we published our app to an FAT environment.